Even a crumb though, in Zach's defense, I think it was hot. But it was a little funny when Cam was up there doing it, and Zach's like, "I think my throat's closing."
Yeah, I'm dying. I'm dying. Call 911.
Well, I actually, in Zach's defense, it does. The throat irritation is the worst part, I would say. Even worse than the spicy in your mouth.
When my friend Neil bent over, this happened.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dan. Back to the scorpion chair. Thank you. You did great. I mean, really, wow. What a showing.
Can I get rid of my spit bucket?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
I'm
Unexpected.
taking this with me, though.
You want this? You have the
Yeah, I
suggestion
guess.
box, too.
I don't even know what it is.
And
It's a coconut popsicle.
And then that was an unexpected showing. I mean, this just shook up the whole game. Speechless, frankly. Incredible. Damn. Absolutely.
What's the chat saying?
They're stoked, man. They're calling you Wan. Dan. Yeah, Wan.
Never do that.
Oh, Ela, you still owe us a hot chip.
Don't let him talk to you.
Yeah, don't.
Do you want to compete? We're going to do the spicy hot chip world record for around Christmas time. Me and Lena. What?
At the live show?
Oh, the live show? Are you sure that's a good idea?
That's a horrible.
Yeah.
idea.
Everybody's like just silently watching us suffer and shit. Oh, did you get lunch, Ela? Let me see. I'm hungry. What'd you get?
Make sure the address is on the bag, Lena.
Lunchtime. Well, I'm shocked, man.
That was so badass.
Yeah. Well, speechless. Speechless.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. I mean, how do we even move on? Would you get a salad?
It's
Nah, not
it's
really.
this like healthy bowl with
Oh, interesting. What
grains and avocado.
Dang, that looks kind of good.
Yeah.
Rice, avocado.
Keying a little bit.
Okay.
Olives.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about the election real fast. I know we have leftovers tomorrow, but it's such fresh news. And I just want to say that I'm so happy.
More kills than your opponents to win.
We have good shit. Yeah.
This morning, like conservative meltdown, and there are some fire clips I've already found.
Has Lauren Boebert said anything yet?
She's, unless it happened during the show, completely silent from her.
That's incredible, actually. That I'm surprised she's not talking about fraud and stuff already. Her ass got beat down.
So it'll probably come, but the fraud talk has been minimal.
Yes, I've noticed that. It's
They're
actually so
more. I think they know they fucked up.
It's so nice. It's actually so nice. Yeah, so midterms happened yesterday. Everyone, including myself, was expecting the Dems to just get wiped out.
I was scared.
A blowout. And not only did that not happen, the races that I think a lot of people really cared about, for the most part, the Dems crushed. And actually what's even better is that all the psycho Trump MAGA election fraudsters, they all got dominated.
A lot of them did. I mean, some like
except for like the
MTG won by like 7% or something.
That does restore some hope.
Yes, it does. It actually does.
It really
a
does.
lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lauren Boebert, we've talked about her on the show before, but she is one of the worst people. She is just a vile, disgusting woman. And the fact that she lost is just, it just makes me so encouraged. It makes me so, so good.
We should say it's not 100% yet. Just so we...
Boebert? She's done, dude.
The count's still happening, and it's very close, but it's looking like it's done. But
wasn't it
unless
like
there's been a call in the
98%?
last 2 hours.
Dan, I'm impressed you're still functioning.
Yeah, you're doing too, Dan.
It's
You're
normal.
Yeah, you are the man, dude.
Do you want another popsicle?
I kind of want another one just because these are really good.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Bro, Dan.
I've never had these before. I don't usually like coconut stuff too, and this is just
Oh, coconut popsicles are by far
Yeah.
the best.
I'm into it.
W Dan, bro.
Yeah, damn.
Here's from 2 hours ago. Lauren Boebert is trailing, coming down to the wire. Last I heard, this is so good. Look at this. Here's Lauren at her party. She was pulling ahead. Everyone thought she was right. She's super popular. She's like one of the faces of the new Republican Party, right? Man.
Yep. And there's her husband who whipped his dick out to a bunch of teenagers.
At a bowling alley,
At a
right?
bowling alley?
Yeah, he showed his dick to minors.
Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually he's probably, is he on the sex offender list probably?
Has to be.
Yeah, he has to be. So that's cool. By the way, the memes are already coming down every time I see those no-show today tweets. Destroyed bands. Yeah, so here she is. They're loving it. They're winning. And here they are. I think they're praying, which is actually funny to me. The mood has gone down, unfortunately. And they're asking God for, please, God. Please, God. Let the people in line to vote be strucken down. Let them die, God. Lord Jesus. I send up my prayer to strike down the Democrats. Let them develop Parkinson's right before they fill that bubble, Lord. Amen. So this is just honestly, and even though they still took the House by a narrow margin, honestly, they're supposed to blow out like 25 seats, and they now are only going to gain like 4.
I saw there's still a scenario where they only wind up with 1.
Dude.
One seat.
It's so great. I mean, this is one of the best showings of an incumbent president ever, I've heard. Because usually the incumbent gets annihilated in the midterm.
I kind of felt like, I mean, I was hoping for something like this because of everything that's happened, like abortions.
Yeah.
I mean, that just like upset all the women in the country, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about the pro-abortion, but, you know, that's a lot of people. So I was kind of hoping for something, but I really felt like there was no hope.
Yeah. I was honestly so nihilistic about this, or fatalistic. I was just like,
I was
this
like,
is it.
I
don't know.
don't even want to watch anything yesterday. I felt like I didn't even want to watch anything about this election, so I was just kind of scared.
Well, and the polls were getting worse and worse the closer we got. And it was looking like the Republicans were going to take the House and Senate. And now they're barely going to take the House. And the Dems, it looks like, are going to not only keep the Senate, but potentially even pick up a seat, which is just nuts. It's just nuts. But yeah, I mean, I'm just so encouraged by this, and I want to basically thank everybody watching, because it seems like the young people, the millennials, or the Generation Z, they came out. They actually came out. And that's why old fucks always win these elections, is because young people have never been mobilized, and they actually went out and voted. So I want to thank everybody who's watching this show. And that's why I think it's so important what Hassan does, for example. I think it's so important. He's one of the biggest Twitch streamers, and he's popularizing leftist politics. And in a landscape, all you see is like Crowder and Ben Shapiro and all these fuckwads. And so to me, even the leftovers probably generates people that absolutely hate me, want to kill me.
Oh yeah.
And all that, it's so worth it, because I see stuff like this, and I'm not going to say that leftovers had an effect or anything, but I think that just mainstreaming leftist politics to the young people, like on YouTube, is such a dub, and I love that you guys all went out and voted. It's just so encouraging. It's so great. Keep doing it. We're getting those old fucks out.
Good luck with all of that leftovers.
Well, in my opinion, not, you know, you don't want to, like you said, it's not just because of leftovers or even just Hassan. But what both Hassan and you do is, I think, gives a voice to politics coming from, you know, more left perspective that isn't so, for lack of a better term, preachy and annoying. Like you guys are funny, and you
funny,
and you're a little, and you especially, Ethan, are. Your humor can be edgy and transgressive, and you know, just showing that, you know, it doesn't have to all be whiny scolding. You know, there's a positive spin that can be put on it to make it fun and engaging and entertaining at the same time, without coming off as just preachy and
Nobody's fucking listening
know.
to Nancy Pelosi when she says.
That's
go
what I'm
vote.
saying.
Nobody
It's like,
cares.
I think for a long time,
It-
justifiably or not, the perception has been that left politics is kind of cringe and annoying.
Yeah.
Even if you agree with it. And
Actually, and it's been so easy for the conservatives to just make caricatures, like insane caricatures of the left.
Right.
That like
Exactly.
we could put in kiddie boxes in schools, and that we're trying to cut off the genitals of children, and all. It's just insanity.
right.
And I'm seeing people say that it encouraged them to vote, and I think that makes me feel like so nice and so good, and just so encouraged that the future isn't all doom and gloom, and we're not all doomed to just being fucked over by a bunch of psychopathic Christian nationalists, fascists.
Yeah.
And that's great. Love it. I think the young people, those culture war shit just doesn't work on them. Like the trans scare that they turned into like the whole talking point of their campaign is about like trans people somehow. And the young people, they don't fucking care about that. They know trans people. They know gay people. They don't buy that shit. They know what the fuck is actually going on.
Yeah.
It's all the old pieces of shit that watch Fox News who are like 10 months away from dying, and then it's like you got to fuck up the world 10 months before your ass dies and is in the ground.
Not everyone's young and healthy.
The real irony too is all of the people that we constantly dunk on, like the Daily Wire folks and Matt Walsh and everything. They're the ones that have been leading the charge on trying to make the election about all of this culture war stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reality is, and they're already crying about it. We'll watch some clips of it on Leftovers, but they're blaming the GOP establishment, the more traditional Republicans, for fucking them over in this election because of they're not MAGA enough, they're not fiery enough with what they're saying, and if only they had listened to them. And frankly, I think it's quite the opposite. The reason the GOP had so much momentum right now is because of just basic ass shit like inflation. Like that's way better messaging. Like the trans stuff. Like you said, I mean, the reality is, trans people are extremely rare. Most people don't know anybody who's trans, and very likely never will. Making the election about that, I think, was a strategic error on the whole MAGA Q side of the Republican Party, because it's just people aren't that passionate about it.
And you know what, Dan? It's nice to see you're actually crying now.
I've been seeing the comments and I'm all emotional
really
about it right now.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah, no, I'm real worked up.
He even complimented you.
Dan
Yeah.
complimented you?
Yeah.
Wait, you did?
Yeah, he did. He said that
You
You're
did?
funny.
you talk about politics and finance.
You think I'm funny, Dan?
Then it's not funny.
I'm kidding. You're not funny.
Somebody said trans people aren't that rare. Listen,
They are
less than 1%.
statistically-
Less than
yeah.
1% of people identify as trans.
Yeah.
That's all I mean. I understand there's plenty of trans people, but my point is just making that the centerpiece of your election was a strategic error on their part, because it's just not that relevant to a lot of just average Americans. You
No,
know?
you're right. As a percentage of the population, it's a very small percentage of the population. Not saying they don't exist. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Come on, don't take it the wrong way. But yeah, also some other good stuff like California and a couple of other states legalized women's right to choose in the state constitution, which we love to see, enshrined it. There's Dr. Oz got walloped. Fuck Dr. Oz, that bitch-ass quack motherfucker. Go back to selling supplements and slop buckets, you loser. Bitch! Why the fuck did you think you could beat the Fetty Wap?
What did he try to run for?
He was a Republican, Trump backed.
He was running for Senate in
Senate.
Pennsylvania.
And he got walloped by the big fat.
Show Ela a picture. I have a picture of him in there. He's such a king. You're gonna love this guy, Ela.
Dude shows up in like gym shorts, bro.
Yeah,
This
you
isn't
gotta
that bad,
show. He's a shorts king. This is why Ethan loves him so much.
In shorts.
He's copying Ethan's style. Look at this.
Oh,
It's my boy right here. Dude, he's a unit. He's like 6'8" or something, isn't he?
He's so powerful.
Yeah.
Get fucked, Dr. Oz. Fuck Dr. Oz, bro. That guy's a loser. And he's a little bitch, too. He's like, you want to talk about soy boys or whatever the fuck that means. He's just like a little fucking weasel ass motherfucker. Hate him. Now here's a unit. That man's wearing shorts and there's snow on the ground. You want to talk about masculinity? That's masculinity.
That's your kind of man.
That's my kind of man right there. He is kind of giving that.
Hashtag
he's
relatable.
He is giving this.
He's giving Gru a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. If he was in shorts, that's a vibe. That's a vibe for sure. Love that. Yeah, so Dr. Oz lost. Lauren Boebert lost. Unfortunately, what's her name? The governor for Georgia, who I was really hoping.
Oh, Stacey Abrams?
Yeah, she got walloped, unfortunately, but can't win them all.
So did Beto, unfortunately.
Just the incumbent. Same as Texas, yeah.
Brian Kemp.
Beto got beat by Greg Abbott. Yes,
What
sir.
about there's this one guy that was like running. What's his name? Walker?
Oh, that one's actually super close. Walker. What's the update on that? Yeah, Herschel Walker was another one we're watching closely. Herschel Walker is basically suffering from traumatic brain injury. He's barely legible. He can barely speak. He has very bad motor.
He's not exaggerating. He was a former NFL player, and he's just kind of sad.
No,
like if he wasn't,
I heard about him.
yeah, if he wasn't advocating for horrible policies, I'd feel bad for what they're
But he's like
putting him up to.
really terrible.
No, he
No, he's
and
awful.
also he's running like pro-life. Like I'm not calling it pro-life. Forced abortion.
Yeah, forced abortion.
He's running on forced abortion, forced pregnancy. I mean. And then it came out that this guy's been getting abortions his whole goddamn life. He's just a giant hypocrite. He like beats his
He's
son.
the one that his son talks
Yeah, he's
about.
like, you're a piece of shit and I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who
So-
is he running against? And is that you said it's close still?
Yeah, so he's running.
It's officially going to a runoff, Ethan. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, but the good news is that Warnock actually was in the lead by almost a full %.
Yep.
What's the policy in Georgia? Is it 1% or 2%?
I think it's, I don't remember. It's within 1 or 2%. Let me check.
I think it's 2,
Triggers.
not 5.
Somebody in the chat will probably know in a second when the screen catches up.
Yeah, if Warnock lost, I feel like that would be like kind of a perfect outcome for us. Or, yeah, I mean,
if he won. If he won, you mean?
If Herschel Walker lost.
Yeah.
I was reading something that.
Oh, it's if no candidate exceeds 50%.
Got it.
That's what it is.
Oh, he's close, man. He's so close.
Thank you, Kevin, in the chat.
Yeah, I read something interesting. You know, Georgia, there's a lot of religious people, a lot of evangelicals. This guy Warnock, he's like a preacher.
Okay.
He's literally spent his whole life in dedication to being a good Christian. This guy. 88% of them voted for Herschel Walker because he's like born again, but it's like he's just bullshit, bro. It's fuck them, bro. Evangelicals. Fuck them. That's all I can say about that.
He's not just a preacher, by the way. He's a preacher at the church that Martin Luther King was a preacher at.
So he's got credentials.
Yeah, absolutely. Like within that community, yeah. I mean, that's a very prestigious church.
Well, if he's up here, it stands to reason he's got a good chance in the runoff, and
I think so.
And that's encouraging too. So it was a great turnout, and I'm just super proud of you guys, of your generation, all the people out there. Dude, if you guys keep turning out in the polls, these motherfuckers don't have a chance. You know what I mean? So
it's true.
Also in LA, there was some interesting initiatives that passed, like a tax on like the millionaire tax, they call it, where houses over 5 million get like a fat property tax on sales to go.
Rip to you guys.
I voted yes. I did vote.
Well,
yes
good for
on
you.
that.
You're class trader, but good for you.
Yeah.
You're the good kind of class trader.
I voted yes on all the tax increase stuff. There was a lot of them in LA. I voted yes on all of them.
Most importantly,
that
we're
was the big
firing
one.
the fucking gang leader sheriff that we have here in LA, which is fucking sick.
That is
Piece
great.
of shit.
I also saw there was an initiative in LA where they're like, we can impeach a sheriff now.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't possible
Because of the
before?
same guy.
That's awesome.
Villanueva is a fucking
Also, the one
piece of
thing
shit.
that your brother was telling us about how there's like finally, or was it you, Dan? That there's finally like a CPA at the controller.
Oh yeah, right. The first CPA to ever be the city controller.
I was like,
Which
what?
is like-
The controller's the person in charge of the finances. So I was like,
Yeah.
how's that possible?
But he's a young guy. He's progressive. He seems very cool.
Says he's going to audit the police.
And he's going to audit.